because apparently it's raining up here.
It's raining here. Spotsy.
Mm-hmm. How nice.
Mm.
All right. So we actually have quite a lot of stuff to talk about today. You probably liked what's on the reading list for this week. Morgan, did you like that?
I did.
So what was on the reading list?
The one about money I thought was pretty interesting.
That was last week.
Okay, the Spectre, whatever his name is.
Well, no? Actually, what's on the reading for this week is nothing.
Okay, well, I was talking about last week. I thought the money article was pretty cool.
Good. This is a get caught up week, which I try to put in periodically. Yes, Morgan, this is for you, since I'm sure they know the answer to this question. What's 2 weeks from today?
The test.
Yes, way to go. No, we're going to call it a quiz.
Okay, I like that better.
You know, good. Do you know why I call it a quiz?
No.
It sounds less stressful.
Okay, it works.
Good. However, if it quacks like a duck, it might be a duck. Okay, so the good news is that after tonight I will have covered at least all the material that's going to be on the exam. Okay, so it will only cover the first 4 topics from the reading list. However, I mean, not however, period. I'm going to make this is an and, not a but, an and. I've added something to the reading list. I don't know if you've noticed it, but it's listed under topic 3, alternative ways of solving the economic problem. It's a very famous article in economics called The Economics of a POW Camp.
Okay.
Most people find it interesting. Abby. Abby?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you coming incognito tonight?
I'm learning the bones.
The bones?
Anatomy tomorrow, so.
Oh. So do you think it's going to help if you're doing anatomy?
No, I just thought I'm taking a break. I just thought I would say hi.
Oh, okay. So you're multitasking in a sense.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I would work on legs primarily because that's where you're most likely to get hurt. You personally, I mean, lacrosse players. I also learned something really interesting about anatomy, that if you're going to have an injury, this is not a joke. If you're going to have an injury, the best part of your body to get an injury is your upper arm.
Really?
Is your arm?
Huh?
Is your arm?
Your upper arm, yeah. And the reason, you got 2 of them. And the reason why is apparently you get a lot of blood flow there because it's close to your heart. And so the healing goes quickly. Yeah.
It's very vascularized.
Yes, exactly.
Where's the worst place to break?
I think there's probably more than one. I would say your head, your neck, your back.
Break your head, Abby.
Bad things to break.
True, it does heal though.
Yep. All right, so back to the story here. So the Radford article is fairly interesting. You know, I recognize that as an economist, I'm not a very good. My reference may not work for you as an economist. However, the story is written by a guy who was in the Royal Air Force during World War II, and before he went into the Air Force, he was actually a professor of economics. And his plane got shot down, and he spent several years of the war in a POW camp in Germany. And he talks literally, he was fascinated by the economics that sprung up in the camp. Okay, so it's definitely worth looking at. It's very, what's interesting about it, I mean, one of the things that's interesting about it is it's a very bare bones treatment. Anything other than the essential parts of the economy are not there because they weren't, they just weren't. Okay, so it's definitely worth looking at. Another thing that I wanted to point out to you in the economic systems part, the readings that I recommended for you were first chapter 1 in the Halbrunner chapter, but also, and this is not on the reading list because you've already read it, the first section in the supply and demand module is about economic systems. So that's sort of the Cliff Notes version. And presumably you've already read it if you've done that module. I'm going to assume that you guys have done it. But you know, you may, when you're studying, you may want to go back and make sure that you associate that part of the module with these other readings. All right. Come in. Somebody's knocking at the door. Yes. Okay. So here's a question for you. Why do transactions take place? Why do people buy things?
Because they need them.
Well, yeah, sure. I'll buy that. That's a D answer.
Shoot.
It's passing. But it'll get you in trouble with who?
Zoe and Dan.
Huh?
Dave and
Zoe
Lori.
and Dan.
Yes. I was thinking the NCAA, but you know.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about my parents.
My parents are more scary than them.
Oh, wow.
What'd
Good
you
to know.
What'd you say?
My parents are scarier than the NCAA.
Oh, agreed.
Rose, do you have that problem?
My
you
parents?
You're a mom. You better be nice to your little girl.
I try.
Tough love, Rose. Tough love. She's going to need a lot of it, I'm guessing. Okay, so back to the question at hand. Why do people buy and sell things? Morgan, what do you think?
Why? I mean, if you like sell something that's more than what you paid for, then I guess in turn to earn more money, or you purchase things because you need them. I buy things because I want them, not usually because I need them.
Well, that's quite an admission. Okay, let me give you a scenario. I'm a pretty good painter. I needed my house painted last summer, but I didn't paint it.
Time.
Instead,
Damn,
I paid someone to do it for me, right? So I made a transaction to satisfy that need. Why did I do it?
Because you don't have enough time. This was in the module.
Put your clavicle away.
This is not your clavicle. I read it in the thing because it was, I don't really exactly remember which module it was in, but it was saying how like if the prices of the tax or of the gas got higher, no, if they stayed the same, then the lines would get longer, right?
Yes.
And then they're losing time, not necessarily money. So which is more important to you, money or time?
So you're saying that money's not that important to me?
Well, if you have a lot of money, then I would assume that time would be more important. I'm not like yeah.
There's no judgment here.
I'm just saying, hypothetically,
You're definitely on the right track.
Is that a C answer?
That's a C minus. How's that? How are mom and dad doing? Are they better?
They're okay. They're okay.
Okay, well, you know,
Me in the D range.
we're not done, right? It doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you finish. Okay. So, somebody else? Why do I hire someone to do painting that I could do for myself?
Rose, step up here. We need your help.
I mean, doesn't it inevitably come back to a need?
Sure.
Whatever you
There has to be a
perceive
need.
as a need, whatever you perceive a need is.
So then why didn't I paint my house myself?
Because you don't know how.
Because
But I do know how.
rationally, that's not something you want to do.
Hold on. The doorbell just rang. I have no idea who it is.
Better take us with you.
I hope whoever it is has the answer.
Jenny.
And in the bone.
Which bone was it? That looks like the string that I used to play my violin.
You have a violin.
Sorry, I'm back.
Did they have the answer?
No. It was my sister-in-law. She randomly showed up, and I don't know what she's trying to tell me here.
You sound so thrilled about that.
Brought something for me to read.
Oh gosh, the dark web.
Yeah, you young folks don't know what that means, but
yes, I do.
And the old folks are being too diplomatic to laugh. So thank you. Okay, so why did I hire someone to paint my house when I could paint it myself?
Are you like a mediocre painter? Like, did you want someone to do like a really good job?
Good.
I need to see some artwork. No, I'm kidding. I really do. I don't understand why it's not time.
I mean, nobody
is time. Okay, time is a really important part of the answer.
Materials.
No.
Really bad at econ, Dr. Greenlaw.
Isn't it you're making a rational decision that that's how you want to spend your money?
Why? Yes.
Because that's a priority to you. It may not be a priority to someone else, but
okay, keep going. Yeah, now we're in the C+ range.
Okay.
This is the rose.
Because maybe you're going to sell your house, so it's a priority to paint it so you can get.
But that doesn't say anything about why I should hire someone rather than do it myself.
You value your time more than you value that money that you're spending.
Okay, why is that?
Because you could be more productive with your time doing something else or earn more money with the same amount of time.
Morgan, B, way to go. Okay.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Abby, how's that C- tasting?
Go ahead, Morgan, repeat it.
Morgan, I'm going to beat you with this.
With the amount of time, like if it took you 5 hours to paint your house, you could make more money doing something else or earn more money doing something else.
Yes, exactly.
That's only if you have a job.
I have a job.
Not in the summers.
But that's it. Okay.
So it's opportunity cost.
Exactly. I'm a decent painter, but I'm much better. I can earn far more money as an economist, right? I got an email out of the blue today saying, Dr. Greenlaw, how would you like to do some consulting for us? We'll pay whatever your daily rate is. That's pretty awesome, thinking about it. What's my daily rate? 1,000, I think, would be good. So it always makes more sense for someone to spend their time doing what they're best at, and then use the money they earn to pay someone to do the stuff they're not as good at.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So if somebody does not have a job and they're still paying somebody to do it, would that be a loss?
Well, you would wonder why they're doing it, right?
Well, maybe they stink at painting.
Okay, so then that would be the reason, yes. So what you're really saying is that they can't do a decent enough job at it. But what I would say is, where are you getting the money if you don't have a job? Your parents.
Your spouse. Your parents.
Do you have a spouse?
Well, I don't personally have a spouse, but that was hypothetical.
Okay. All right. So yes, right?
I'll be right back.
Now, why is the painter
Leaving us.
Why is the painter willing to take my money?
Because that's his job.
Okay, what's that mean, though?
He's using his time to make money, just like you're not using your time to lose money or to go make more money.
His time is worth less than I'm paying him to paint my house. My time is worth more than it would take me to paint my house, right? So both sides are better off through the transaction.
True.
What it really comes down to is we each have a different value, or we each place a different value on house painting, right? I think it's worth a lot. He thinks it's worth a little. And so we can be both be better off if I pay him to do the job that I don't want to do because I'm not very good at it. And he takes the job because that's what he's good at, right? So it all comes from sort of a difference in opinion about what something is worth. And of course, that comes from what your particular expertise is. That makes sense, Abby?
I got it.
Can I get you up to C+ now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Awesome. So any questions about that? That was actually an hour lecture the other day in class, but you guys are quicker than them.
You gotta be quicker than that.
What's that?
You can take that a step further.
Yes.
And not only can you hire someone to do something you could do yourself while you go make money, you could also have like another business on the side that's also making money. So you develop 2 streams of income.
Yeah, sure.
Or get money working for you through an investment.
Right. And I do have 2 streams of money. I've got my teaching salary, and then I've got my consulting on the side.
Right.
I'm really curious to see how much they're willing to pay me for this. We'll pay you at whatever your daily rate is.
Right. Yeah, I'm in a situation where, so I've got my day job, but then I also own a company on the side, and they've got a project they'll be doing on Friday. So I don't physically have to be there because I got other people doing it. So my company makes money, I make money, they make money, and the customer gets what they want.
Yeah. So it's as if when you have a transaction that everybody agrees to, everybody gains something through the process.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Moving right along. Let's talk about deli dollars. So Morgan, you said you enjoyed that article as far as econ readings go?
The one about money?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Abby?
Are you talking about the one that we had our Twitter?
Yes. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Good. So what did you decide? Are deli dollars money or not, in your opinion? What?
I mean, they have an equivalence to U.S. currency.
They do?
4 cents.
They do?
I think so.
Okay. Tell me more.
So, I mean, if you could equate them to something in like physical money, then I feel like they would have to be.
Okay. So if I placed an order with Amazon,
okay,
and I did it through the mail, and I put $20 worth of deli dollars in the package and said, "This is my payment." Would Amazon accept that?
No, because it's not worth anything to them.
Yeah.
Well, then doesn't that mean it's not money?
Well, I mean, but it's like money in the right context. It could be money there, but it may not be money elsewhere.
Okay.
I tried to look at it like food stamps. Like food stamps work at specific places that accept them, and like you can get food for them, but you couldn't go to Amazon and, you know, get like a bike.
So that's a nice analogy. So you're saying that food stamps are a limited form of money. Okay. And in the same way, deli dollars are a limited form of money. Okay. Now let's drill into that a little bit. What is an asset? What would you say? What's your definition of an asset?
Something that's like a benefit to you, whether it's monetary or physical. It's something that's good to have.
Like a trip to the beach is good to have?
It's like a quality, isn't it?
An asset is a quality?
Yeah, like people say that's your best asset.
Okay.
Something that holds value that you own, isn't it?
Okay. So assets, their number one characteristic is they have to hold value. They have to have value and hold value. They don't have to perfectly hold value, right?
Yeah.
My car is an asset. It has value, but over time, what happens to the value of my car?
It appreciates.
It goes down, right? So it's not a perfect asset because it doesn't perfectly hold value, but it's definitely an asset.
So like if you have a car that isn't paid off though, wouldn't it technically be listed as like a liability though, because you don't necessarily own it in full yet?
Abraham, what would you say to that?
So the vehicle itself would still be an asset, but if you have a loan against it, that's your liability. You could have a positive net worth on it if your vehicle is worth more than what you owe on the loan.
Okay.
So Rose's house is an asset to her. but the mortgage is a liability.
Okay. So if you have a car, but you own it outright, like if I don't owe anything back on my car, then is that an asset in full?
Sure. I mean, the asset it's an asset anyway. The question is how much of that is do you owe anything against that asset? Okay. Right? I just had this great idea. I think maybe on the day of the final exam, the evening of the final exam, we should all drop by Rose's house for an impromptu party. That would be fun.
Hey, good luck getting through all the toys.
I have experience at that. Come on now. Are you suggesting that your daughter is spoiled?
No, just messy.
But we all take the final exam together at Rose's house.
I like that plan.
Better. I hope her Wi-Fi is good.
Rose, can I bring my kids and their toys?
Sure.
Yeah, bring
big
my
toy
kids
party.
in there.
Yeah, that would be
Bring your skeleton.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. He's my friend.
Hey, Abby, you're borrowing that skeleton, right?
I'm what?
You don't own that skeleton?
No.
You're borrowing it. Okay. Okay. So there are two characteristics of every asset. One is that they hold value. What's the other one?
That they don't hold value?
No, you can't be both. You can't have both of those be true at the same time. What's true of an asset?
That's a liability.
Not necessarily, because following up with what Morgan said, if you own it outright and you paid off your car loan, there is no liability against that asset, right? So think about a car.
Future probability, like if the price of something goes up in the future?
Maybe. But think about a car. Why do people buy cars?
To get them places.
What?
Do something productive with it.
Transportation.
They get transportation, okay? So assets either yield an actual service that you can use, like transportation, right? Or Rose's house, what does that give her?
A roof over her head.
During the rain, exactly, shelter, right? Some assets don't have an actual service attached to them, right? Like a savings account in a bank. What property do savings accounts or other financial assets have?
A safe place to keep your money.
Well, yeah, but my car is pretty safe, a safe place to keep my
Well, you can gain interest on them.
Right. Financial assets don't give you a service, but they do give you a flow of income, right? So if you have money in the bank pays interest on your deposits. If you invest in Procter & Gamble stock, every quarter they send you a dividend check, right? It's money, it's income. It comes to you on a regular basis, all right? So what if, let's see, Morgan, this is for you.
Okay.
What if Rose lets someone else live in her house and she moves out, but she still owns the house?
Okay.
What does she get out of the deal?
Is she paying, or is she charging me more than she would have? I don't even know how to say that. Like, is she making money off of how much she's charging me to live there, or am I living there for free?
Do landlords generally do that?
Yes, mine does.
Yeah, right. Okay. So
she's getting
real assets either give the owner a service or they give the owner an income stream, right?
Uh-huh.
Financial assets don't ever give a service. They only give an income stream. So that's one way that you can differentiate between real assets and financial assets. Okay. Now, is money an asset? Morgan's shaking her head. Abby, how about you? Okay, think about the definition. Does money have value?
Yes.
Okay. Does money provide a service or a flow of income?
Yeah.
What is the service or what is the flow of income?
Well, the service can be whatever you want it to be. You have the option because you
Not. Go on, keep talking.
Well, if you have money, then you can, like you said with the paintings and stuff, you can decide to buy a service or a good, or put your money in the bank. And that you said was an asset.
Okay, let me say this. Yeah, if you have money in, say, a checking account, the bank may pay you interest on those deposits, right? Which means that suggests that checking accounts are assets because they hold value and they provide a stream of income. What about cash? Does cash holds value, but does it provide either income or a service?
I mean, cash would be like cash flow would be listed as an asset on
Okay,
like an income
different.
statement.
That's different. That's not holding on to cash.
Okay.
That's
Then
money in your wallet.
no, I don't think so.
Because you can't make more.
Can you, when you live in a house, can you make more house by living in it?
No.
No. So that's not quite right. Okay, let's approach this a different way. What is money here? If you had to define money, what would you say? At its kind of bare bones.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. I will tell your parents, though, if it turns out this way, Abby wasn't a stellar student, but she had a great sense of humor.
Abby, you better hope it doesn't turn out
Kidding,
that
Abby,
way.
kidding.
I'll give you my anatomy exam.
Yes. Who's your anatomy teacher?
Dr. Waters, I saw you with him.
That's right. I'll put in a good word for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So what makes money money? Okay, I'll give you a hint here. Money is an asset, but not all assets are money. A house is not money, right?
Okay.
So what makes money? What makes money money?
Like tangible, like coins, something that you can spend.
The government?
I rarely carry cash, and yet I'm able to buy things all the time.
With a credit card? Or do you steal them?
5-finger discount.
With a debit card, right? So the debit card is not tangible. I mean, the card is, but the money isn't, right? The money is somewhere else.
Okay.
So the definite money doesn't need to be tangible per se. What I really want to argue here is that money is a fiction. Money is actually a social construct. It doesn't exist in real life. Okay. Now I know we don't have any humanities majors here, so you're probably all flipping out on me, but go with me here.
Writing major.
Biology and math.
Okay, so what makes money money?
I think I should change it.
Are you econ?
No, business.
Well, then you should know this. Okay, you guys.
Is it that it's generally accepted?
What is money for?
Oh, something that's, yeah, like what Rose just said. Something that's like unanimously accepted, like a currency. That's,
What? Okay, yes. But what is money for?
It's a form of payment to
buy goods and services.
get goods and services.
It's only useful for spending, right? Unless you want to light your campfire, right?
With money.
With money. Well, you can do that. I once used a 10 million Bolivar Peruvian banknote to light a campfire because it was worth less than a penny at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So money is only useful when you spend it. When you don't spend it, it's the ability to spend which makes it useful, right? The usefulness of money is the service that money actually provides. So it really is an asset. Okay. Now, just because you trade something for something else doesn't make that thing money, right? And you guys were all over this question, this point a minute ago. I once lived next to a 9th grader, The ninth grader had to pass algebra. Okay. Perhaps some of you can relate to this. You know, maybe Morgan absolutely has to pass econ. Okay.
I do.
All right. So, I had a 2-year-old. So we worked out a deal. I tutored her in return for her babysitting my 2-year-old. I got the best part of that deal.
Definitely.
But she thought she got the best part of that deal. Okay. Because actually I did really give her a good deal. I traded her an hour for an hour, and my time was actually worth more than hers. But I was willing to do that. I was trying to teach her a little economics lesson along with the algebra. So here's my question for you. Was my tutoring money? It allowed me to get what I was trying to get, which is babysitting services. You know the answer to this.
I want to say no, it was time, but
You were bartering.
No was the right answer, right? What we were talking about was a barter transaction, right? Barter transactions only work when you and the person you're trading with
have an equal.
each have the same complementary desires, so that what you want to sell is what they want to buy, and what they want to pay with is what you want to get, right? That doesn't make it money. So you working through that, Rose, or are you looking at something else?
I'm just gonna say goodnight quick. Hold on.
Oh, you should bring her up. Bring her in.
Oh, it's on here.
She's not bad.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
Good night.
Bye. Say goodnight. Good night.
The eyes, yeah.
Looks tired, yeah.
Yeah, I know that look.
I feel
Bye-bye.
tired.
Say I'll see you in 18 years.
Yeah.
So I expect that Rose and Abraham both know why babies are cute.
Why they're cute?
Why they're cute. Babies are cute. Do you know why that is? It's genetic. Why?
So it's easier to deal with them.
So their parents don't kill them when they're young.
Like when they can't hold their head up, that's creepy.
Well, no, that's not the worst part of it. Usually those killing things happen between 3 and 5 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
When you'd really like to be asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been blessed. My kids sleep most of the night.
Oh, that's nice.
After they were born.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so last time, what makes money money? It's its general acceptability as a means of payment. Okay, someone is willing to accept money because they know that they can turn around and spend it.
So that means the deli dollars are in fact money.
It depends. You can make a case either way.
If
Okay.
you're spending it at a deli, yeah, but if you're spending it at Amazon, no.
Well, I'm
See,
trying to
so Morgan is onto something, Abby. What do you think?
It's because I get B's and you get C minuses.
Ouch!
You know, you're a transer. I don't know what you get.
So here's the question. Does being able to cash in deli dollars at the deli make them a generally accepted means of payment? The answer is no. The answer is no. Why? Because Frank had to accept them because they were his debts, right? He had to accept them. That doesn't make them money. What would make them money is if people spent them in other places and they were accepted in other places in the town. Okay. Now they weren't universally accepted, but money doesn't have to be universally accepted. It just has to be generally accepted. Okay. And from what I remember in the article, what it said is deli dollars started showing up in other stores and other places. So that suggests at least some money likeness for deli dollars. Would it work in San Francisco? Would Delhi dollars be accepted in San Francisco? No. In my face-to-face class today, I asked them, I said, are euros money? And everybody said, oh, yeah. And I said, well, could you go to the bookstore and buy a cup of coffee with euros? And they said, well, of course not. And I said, well, then it's not money, right? So
if you changed it for American money, then would it be considered money?
Well, no, the euros aren't money. The dollars are money.
Okay. Euros
are an asset. They have value, but they're not generally accepted in the transaction.
More value.
Fredericksburg. That's the point. One of you mentioned this earlier. Money, money is contextual. Okay, money has a geographic location sometimes about where it's accepted or not. Okay. What is the currency in Zimbabwe? What is the main currency in Zimbabwe these days? Anybody know? American dollars. Why?
Is it the easy?
Their currency ended up crashing through hyperinflation.
And it's not done yet. No one wants their currency because it loses value by the minute, right? And so people avoid their own currency as much as possible. They use dollars because dollars hold their value and they're generally accepted as a means of payment, even outside of the United States. See? All right, good job. I'm going to say that Abby is within a hair of a B at this point.
Oh, I'm
what?
Morgan.
I'm pretty sure Abraham just answered that question.
Yeah, but I was thinking it.
Well, think about this, Abby.
When you fail your test, are you going to write on the back of it? Yeah, I was thinking that.
I'm going to tell Dr. Waters that it was Dr. Greenlaw's fault.
Abby, just think about this. Think about who's in your group? Your study group, Abby?
My study group?
Yeah.
Another teammate?
Your econ study group.
Yay. Oh my God. Oh.
I don't know because they never responded to me.
Okay.
I'm my own study.
Okay. Who's gonna get a better grade in class participation for our class?
Me, because I'm here and
Exactly. And showing up is important.
It is.
Who reminded you that
Why don't you just put the 4 of us in a study group?
Please. Oh my gosh.
Please.
That'd be great.
Okay. Well, let me just say, you guys can do anything on your own that you want.
Yeah, but not the assignments. I had to do the assignment by myself because I tried contacting them like 5 different ways and they didn't respond to me.
She did reach out on every form of social media. No one responded.
It sounds like you want to divorce your group.
I do. I would really like to divorce.
Okay.
Well, unless you're watching.
The next group assignment is coming up next week. And I will put you in a new group.
With the 3 of us?
With all of us together?
I haven't decided yet.
Come on, we are your OGs.
We are the returners. We've only missed like one.
So anyway, so Abby, stay tuned. Okay. So will you allow me to share your email addresses with the people in whatever new group you get in? That will save time.
Please.
Yeah, it's just my first initial. They should know though.
They should know. Yes. I was at a meeting today and we were reminded that it is a violation 3 ways to Thursday if I share Morgan's email with Abby without
don't do that
permission. So I'm not going to do that.
Yes, you're allowed to share my email.
I don't know who that girl is.
Hey.
Did you just itch your shoulder with someone else?
So hey, random question here before I let you go. So are you guys going to take 202 next semester?
No.
Morgan?
Yeah.
Well, it's just a question.
Contingent upon how I do in this class.
Well,
actually, I think I have to for a business major.
But you don't have to take it with me, see?
well,
But you know, we
No,
could
you
make
are
it
the
like a class, an online class outing.
I
Go
do
watch
plan
some
on
cross.
taking it, and I hope to take it with you. But this whole online thing is a little
Okay. Well, you know, I do
hard.
face-to-face as well, so just
Do you teach an in-class one for 202 or no?
that's what I just said. Yes.
Listen, Morgan.
Okay. Okay. Though having said that, I have not been told what I'm teaching next semester. So surprises occasionally happen in my department. Okay. So, but the good news is I'm the only one who teaches online. So,
Well, Dr. Greenlaw, if I have to take Econ 202, I'll choose you.
that makes me so much.
As will everyone else on the women's lacrosse team.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm afraid of. Nope. Sorry, didn't say that.
Oh,